Janelle Brown just dropped the biggest bombshell Sister Wives fans have seen in years. And no, it did not come from a tell-all interview or a dramatic on-screen confrontation. It came from a quiet Instagram post that sent shockwaves through the entire fandom. After 20 seasons, 16 years of cameras following her every move, and nearly 3 decades tied to the Brown family name, Janelle has soft-launched her exit from the show that made her famous. The words hit like a freight train. Leaving the show, leaving a marriage, starting over at an age where everyone expects you to have it all figured out. She wrote those words on December 21st, and fans immediately understood what she was really saying. This was not speculation anymore. This was confirmation straight from Janelle herself. The timing could not be more significant. Season 20 is currently airing, and sources close to the situation suggest the family was under contract through this season. That means Janelle fulfilled her obligations. She sat through Kody's so-called apology tour. She filmed her confessionals. She played her part in the storyline TLC wanted to tell. But now that the finish line is in sight, she is making it crystal clear that she has no intention of crossing into another season. The post continued with language that felt like a woman finally exhaling after holding her breath for far too long. She talked about shedding points instead of breaking points. She reframed every painful moment of her public unraveling as a necessary step toward becoming who she was always meant to be. Fans flooded the comments with overwhelming support. "Leave that show and live life without all the drama," one follower urged. "It's long past time for this show to end," another declared. "I wish you well with all the good things coming your way." The response was almost unanimous. People who have watched Janelle navigate the chaos of plural marriage, the favoritism toward Robin, the crumbling relationship with Kody, and the devastating loss of her son Garrison are ready to see her finally break free. What makes this announcement even more powerful is how she framed her departure. She did not trash TLC. She did not attack Kody publicly. She simply stated her truth and invited her audience to witness her transformation. That restraint speaks volumes about the woman Janelle has become. Behind the carefully crafted words lies a much deeper story. Sources suggest that filming Sister Wives became emotionally unbearable after Garrison's passing in March of 24. The show forced her to relive trauma on camera while still grieving. It required her to engage with Kody's apology tour when healing privately would have been far healthier. And worst of all, it kept her tethered to a narrative she no longer recognized as her own. Now she is reclaiming that narrative on her terms. The soft launch has begun, and there is no turning back. But this Instagram confession was not a sudden decision. It was the culmination of a carefully orchestrated social media campaign that started weeks earlier. Janelle did not just wake up one morning and decide to announce her departure. She architected it. Starting December 11th, she began planting seeds across her Instagram that something massive was shifting in her world. Each post built upon the last, creating a breadcrumb trail that loyal followers pieced together in real time. By the time she dropped the bombshell on December 21st, the groundwork had already been laid. The first hint came on December 11th when Janelle posted a video of herself walking on a dirt path. The message on screen read, "There's a moment in every woman's life when she realizes the story she's been telling no longer fits." In the caption, she wrote about suddenly noticing that life did not feel like hers anymore. She admitted to squeezing herself into roles and routines that just didn't fit the woman I was becoming. Fans immediately sensed something deeper was happening. Then came December 12th with a post about productivity and slowing down. "For most of my life, I equated productive with busy," she wrote, "but lately I've learned that slowing down actually helps me move forward with more intention." The message was subtle but unmistakable. Janelle was preparing her audience for a life that looked nothing like the chaotic reality television existence they had watched for years. December 13th brought another revelation. She wrote about change throwing her off balance, even when it was the good kind. It has this way of shaking things loose, your routines, your certainty, even parts of yourself you thought were solid. She talked about standing in that uncomfortable in-between place and reassured followers that feeling lost meant they were exactly where they needed to be. The December 16th post introduced her new venture. Janelle announced second chapter coaching and explained why she created it. "It wasn't about reinventing myself or anyone else," she wrote. "It was about helping women remember the parts of themselves they've ignored or silenced for years." This was not just a career pivot, this was Janelle building a lifeboat before jumping ship from Sister Wives entirely. December 19th hit differently. She posted a photo of herself enjoying an ocean view and reflected on living most of her life in front of cameras. "People formed opinions long before they ever heard my actual voice," she confessed. She talked about moments that never made it to screen because she was not ready to share them. Now that life felt quieter, she was finally opening up authentically. By the time December 21st arrived, fans had connected every dot. The departure announcement landed exactly as Janelle intended. She wrote about thinking she had broken at certain points in her life, leaving the show, leaving a marriage, starting over when everyone expected her to have answers, but she reframed those moments as shedding points rather than failures. Old expectations falling away, old identities that were never really hers dissolving into dust. The strategic soft launch worked perfectly. Janelle controlled the narrative completely. While fans processed Janelle's departure hints, she was simultaneously launching an entirely new business that signals complete financial independence from TLC. Second Chapter Coaching represents her pivot from reality television star to life coach, and she is betting her future on it. Her Instagram bio now reads, helping women in their second chapter reclaim confidence and design lives full of freedom and adventure. The transformation is deliberate and calculated. On December 16th, Janelle explained the inspiration behind her new venture. When I first made the decision to start over, I really thought it meant walking away from everything, she wrote. Like I had to burn it all down just to build something new. She admitted that fear kept her stuck for a long time, but walking through her own reinvention taught her that women do not need entirely new lives. They just need someone who understands the blurry in between. Her coaching program targets a specific demographic: empty nesters, women navigating major life transitions, women ready for fresh starts who feel invisible or forgotten. Janelle is positioning herself as the guide who has walked through fire and emerged stronger, and she is backing it up with a free masterclass scheduled for December 27th. The promotional material promises attendees will discover how to give themselves permission to reinvent their lives, find clarity on what they really want, and confidently navigate major life changes without the overwhelm. Reports indicate 170 spots remain available for the online event. However, the life coaching industry carries significant controversy that Janelle cannot escape. The field remains largely unregulated, existing in murky territory between licensed therapy and paid advice from unlicensed practitioners. This became national news following the Ruby Franke and Jody Hildebrand scandal that rocked Utah. Hildebrand operated as a life coach while allegedly participating in child abuse that landed both women in prison. The state of Utah has since moved to change laws surrounding life coaching credentials and oversight. Janelle now resides in North Carolina, where regulations differ entirely. Critics argue that reality television fame does not qualify someone to guide vulnerable women through emotional transitions. Supporters counter that lived experience holds value that clinical training cannot replicate. Janelle addressed this indirectly during an earlier Instagram video about her coaching certification. "I'm going to be talking about real, practical tools," she explained. "Tools that I learned in my life coach training that were so powerful yet so simple. It's mind-blowing." She also delivered a message that resonated deeply with her target audience. You're not too old to make a change. You can completely shake things up, or maybe you're happy where you are and just want clarity. Either way, you're not alone. Fan response has been overwhelmingly positive despite the industry skepticism. Comment sections overflow with women praising Janelle for helping them find their voices. Whether second chapter coaching becomes her primary income source remains uncertain. But one thing is clear: Janelle is building a life that does not depend on Kody Brown or TLC cameras ever again. Janelle did not just leave Kody, she left the entire world they built together. Her relocation from Flagstaff, Arizona to Chocowinity, North Carolina represents the most dramatic geographical separation any Brown wife has ever executed. She put nearly 2,000 miles between herself and the chaos, choosing to start fresh in a place where the Brown family drama cannot reach her doorstep. The move happened strategically after her separation from Kody became final. She purchased a stunning 156-acre property alongside her daughter Maddie and son-in-law Caleb Brush. Together, they established Tayada Farms, a flower farm operation that Janelle describes as the place where her second chapter truly began. The sprawling acreage offers something Janelle never had during her decades in plural marriage: space, silence, ownership of her own story. In a recent blog post on the Tayada Farms website, Janelle revealed her deeper intentions for the property. "I have a lot of hopes for Tayada Farms," she shared. "I dream of building a successful flower farm for healing, for connection, for embracing the slow." She wants her children to understand that life is not meant to be rushed through but lived fully. Those words carry tremendous weight considering what her family endured in 2024. The farm represents more than income diversification. It symbolizes generational healing. Earlier this year, Janelle announced her word for 2025 would be detox. She explained plans to clear out what no longer serves her in every sense: nutrition, mental clutter, possessions, spirituality, and most tellingly, relationships. She committed to strengthening boundaries and severing ties with people who do not bring out her best self. That detox extended to her physical connection with Arizona. In recent months, Janelle posted footage of emptying her final storage unit in Flagstaff. Friends helped her load a U-Haul truck with the last remnants of her southwestern life. The symbolic weight of that moment was not lost on followers. Nothing holds her to that place anymore. She visited briefly to have dinner with sons Logan and Hunter, but the trip felt like closure rather than homecoming. Her Instagram caption simply read, "Had dinner with my boys." Gabriel remained in Chicago, unable to attend. The family is scattered now, but Janelle seems at peace with that reality. December brought another reflection that hammered home how disconnected she feels from her former life. After visiting Salt Lake City, Janelle wrote about returning to what she considers her hometown. "Everywhere I turn, it seems unfamiliar," she admitted. "Like I remember the area, but it doesn't look at all the same." Buildings she knew had vanished. Shiny new structures stood in their place. Only the mountain peaks remained constant, making the same skyline she memorized decades ago. The metaphor writes itself. Everything Janelle once knew has transformed beyond recognition. Her marriage, her family structure, her sense of self. Only the foundation remains, and she is building something entirely new upon it. North Carolina is not just a location, it is liberation. There is a wound at the center of Janelle's departure that cannot be ignored. On March 5th, 2024, her son Garrison Brown took his own life at age 25. The tragedy shattered the Brown family in ways that cameras could never fully capture, and for Janelle, it fundamentally altered her relationship with sister wives forever. Garrison had been struggling with anxiety, depression, and alcohol dependency for years. Janelle spoke openly about watching her son battle demons he could not conquer. He had anxiety and depression, she explained to her sister Carrie on a recent episode, and then he started drinking as a way to sort of soothe that. It became the animal he couldn't get a hold of. The family did everything they could, but Garrison could not find his footing. The night before his death, Garrison sent a haunting text message to people who worked with the Brown family. Sources confirmed the recipients were likely Sister Wives production crew members. His words cut straight to the heart. "I want to hate you for sharing the good times, but I can't. I miss these days." Janelle saw the message and immediately grew concerned. She texted Garrison directly, and they exchanged brief messages before he stopped responding around 8:40 in the evening. By morning, he was gone. Gabriel discovered his brother at Garrison's Flagstaff home after Janelle asked her sons to check on him. The trauma of that moment reverberates through the family to this day. What makes this tragedy even more devastating is the context surrounding it. Garrison had a deeply fractured relationship with Kody that never healed. Their conflicts played out on multiple seasons of Sister Wives, with Garrison expressing frustration over his father's behavior. "We've reached out and tried to be open, but it's been neglected and overlooked for offenses that were believed to have happened, but they never did," Garrison said during one episode. Kody dismissed these claims, insisting his sons were being unfair. The police report confirmed what many suspected. Garrison and Kody had not reconciled at the time of his death. Whatever healing might have eventually occurred was stolen permanently. Now imagine being Janelle. You lose your child in the most devastating way possible. You are still processing unimaginable grief. And you are contractually obligated to continue filming a reality television show that documents your broken family. Every confessional becomes an exercise in reliving trauma. Every scene with Kody forces you to face the man whose estrangement from your son may have contributed to his pain. The show even aired footage addressing Garrison's death earlier this year, forcing the entire family to publicly mourn while cameras rolled. Insiders suggest this experience broke something fundamental in Janelle's willingness to continue. The paycheck no longer justifies the emotional cost. The storylines feel exploitative rather than authentic. And worst of all, Garrison's final messages went to production crew members, forever linking Sister Wives to the darkest chapter of her life. While Janelle quietly prepared her exit strategy, Kody Brown embarked on what TLC branded as his redemption arc. The so-called apology tour dominated season 20, with the polygamous patriarch traveling across the country to make amends with each ex-wife. But viewers saw through the performance almost immediately. This was not genuine accountability. This was damage control wrapped in a television storyline. The tour kicked off in early December when Kody flew to North Carolina to meet Janelle face-to-face. In a preview clip, he arrived with what he described as a list of apologies. "I just wanted to come and say that I apologize," he began awkwardly. "I want to apologize for just being so angry and so bitter over the family breakup. Nobody deserved to have me be that angry." The words sounded rehearsed. The delivery felt hollow. Janelle listened politely, but her body language told the real story. She admitted in confessionals that toward the end of their marriage, she struggled to recognize the man Kody had become. The person sitting across from her offering apologies was not the partner she married nearly 30 years ago. He was a stranger wearing familiar skin. She accepted his words graciously, but made no promises about reconciliation. For Janelle, the chapter closed long before Kody showed up with his scripted regrets. The Christine stop on the apology tour proved even more uncomfortable. Kody traveled to Las Vegas to meet his third ex-wife and her new husband, David Woolley. The dynamic was painfully awkward from the start. Kody apologized for saying he never loved Christine during their marriage, calling it a crappy thing to say to the mother of 6 of his children. But then he veered into territory that made everyone squirm. He started reminiscing about how much he used to love Christine, describing their marriage as beautiful like a storm and a sunset. Christine shut him down immediately. "Why do you think this is appropriate?" she fired back. "Your wife should be here if you're going to say things like that to me. Where's your wife? Don't say things like that to me." The confrontation exposed the fundamental problem with Kody's apology tour. He wants absolution without genuine transformation. He craves the narrative of a reformed man without doing the internal work reformation requires. Behind the scenes, sources suggest Robin encouraged Kody to pursue this path after months of therapy discussions. She reportedly wanted him to find closure so their own marriage could stabilize, but the execution revealed Kody's limitations. He cannot apologize without making himself the victim. He cannot acknowledge wrongdoing without simultaneously deflecting blame. His ex-wives saw this clearly even if he remained blind to it. Mary even jokingly referred to the entire spectacle as his ex-wife tour, stripping away any pretense of sincerity. For Janelle specifically, the apology tour represented one final contractual obligation before freedom. She sat through it, she filmed her reactions, and then she started posting about leaving the show entirely. The December 21st episode delivered a moment fans had been waiting years to witness. Someone finally told Kody Brown the truth directly to his face, and it was not one of his ex-wives. It was David Woolley, the man who married Christine and became the father figure Kody's children desperately needed. The confrontation happened during Kody's apology tour stop in Las Vegas. After sitting through Kody's hollow regrets and uncomfortable declarations about loving Christine, David had heard enough. He leaned forward with calm authority and asked a simple question. "Can I give you a little bit of advice? Just a little bit?" Kody nodded, clearly not expecting what came next. "Start with your kids." Those 4 words landed like a bomb. David explained that Christine and the other ex-wives had already moved on with their lives. They processed the hurt, they rebuilt themselves, but the children remained wounded and waiting. "Your kids still need to heal, and that's the part that you need to work on," David continued. He spoke from experience, admitting he once struggled with his own 8 children before repairing those relationships. He knew what accountability actually looked like because he had lived it. Kody's reaction revealed everything about his character. Instead of absorbing the advice graciously, he became defensive and dismissive. "My whole purpose here is to apologize to Christine," he snapped, "not to David, not to anybody else." In confessionals, he doubled down on his resistance. "I don't care what you think. I'm here to apologize, and I don't even want to be reminded of that because it will bring me back to an angry place." The irony was staggering. A man on an apology tour refused to hear truth that might actually repair his family. David later explained his reasoning to cameras. "When he cut me off on it, I'm like, okay, I had to say what I said just to make sure, because I am around his kids and I do see them hurt." David witnesses the damage daily. He watches Truly navigate life without her biological father's presence. He sees the older children wrestling with abandonment and broken promises. His advice came from genuine concern, not ego. Fan reaction exploded across social media. Comments praised David as the first person brave enough to hold Kody accountable on camera. "David has the right, especially as the day-to-day father to Truly and the others." One viewer wrote, "David is 100 times the father that Kody will ever be." Another observed that Kody expected to control the conversation like he did with Janelle, but David refused to play along. The confrontation symbolized something larger than one uncomfortable dinner. It represented the passing of patriarchal authority. Kody spent years demanding respect he never earned. Now another man was raising his children, loving his ex-wife, and speaking truths Kody refused to hear. The throne Kody built crumbled publicly while David stood firm on actual integrity. The final stop on Kody's apology tour promises to be the most explosive yet. On December 28th, viewers will watch as Kody travels to Parowan, Utah to face Mary Brown, his first wife, the woman who stood beside him for 35 years before their spiritual marriage finally crumbled in early 2023. And based on preview clips, Mary has absolutely no intention of making this easy for him. The teaser footage shows Kody attempting his rehearsed approach. "I'm just here to apologize," he begins. But Mary cuts him off before he can finish the sentence. "No, I'm going to tell you this, Kody," she snaps, her voice carrying decades of suppressed frustration. The energy shift is immediate and unmistakable. In confessional interviews, Mary explained her mindset heading into the confrontation. "I don't know what Kody I'm going to get because I don't know Kody anymore," she admitted. That statement carries profound weight. After 35 years together, the man she married has become unrecognizable. The disconnect runs so deep that basic communication feels impossible. She also revealed the last time they saw each other in person was at Coyote Pass, and they did not even acknowledge one another. "We didn't even look at each other," Mary shared. That level of estrangement makes any apology feel performative rather than genuine. Mary has set boundaries that Kody cannot manipulate his way around. "I'm going to go into this conversation with very strong boundaries," she declared. "His energy messes with my energy. It just does." She refuses to let him control the narrative this time. Her friends Jen and Amber raised immediate red flags when Mary discussed the meeting with them. They questioned Kody's motives and sincerity. Jen specifically warned that the apology could be manipulative rather than meaningful. Mary admitted she shares those concerns. Does he have some ulterior motive? "I don't even know," she wondered aloud. The trust evaporated long ago and nothing Kody says can rebuild it overnight. Perhaps most telling was Mary's recollection of texting Kody after their separation, asking if they could move forward in kindness. Instead of agreeing, he called her immediately and became defensive. Though he eventually calmed down, that reaction killed any hope Mary had for an amicable relationship. She learned that Kody interprets any request for peace as an attack requiring defense. Kody himself acknowledged the meeting could go bad very quickly. His stated strategy is simply not to escalate, but Mary has her own plan. "If you go on the attack on me or my best friend, then I will go on the attack back," she warned. The days of Mary absorbing mistreatment silently are finished. One line from the preview captured the entire dynamic perfectly. Mary looked directly at Kody and declared, "You're not going to shut me down anymore." After decades of feeling dismissed and diminished, she finally found her voice. December 28th will show the world exactly what happens when she uses it. While Kody chased redemption across the country, Robin Brown sat at home watching her supposed victory turn to ash. She won the husband, she outlasted 3 sister wives, she secured the legal marriage, the million-dollar homes, and Kody's undivided attention. Yet sources close to the situation reveal her prize has become a prison. The marriage that was supposed to vindicate her is crumbling from the inside out. During the season 19 premiere, both Kody and Robin made shocking admissions about their relationship. "Robin and I are really kind of in a struggling place," Kody confessed to cameras. Robin went even further. "We're probably doing the worst we've ever done in our marriage. It's been tough." Those words shattered the narrative that their union was the soulmate connection Kody always claimed it to be. The cracks deepened as season 20 progressed. In one particularly revealing episode, Kody floated the idea of returning to polygamy during a dinner with Robin. He mentioned receiving emails from women interested in joining their family. Robin's reaction was immediate and visceral. She asked why he wanted another wife. Kody stumbled through explanations about wanting to connect with someone different. Robin called him out directly, labeling his reasoning the very worst reason to seek another woman. In confessionals, she went further. "Kody's just kind of being a bit of a pig right now," she told cameras. The woman who spent years defending her husband finally acknowledged what viewers always suspected. Christine responded to the new wife speculation with disbelief during an appearance on the Sarah Fraser show. "I do not even know how to wrap my mind around what I have seen that they are even entertaining," she said. Christine genuinely hoped it was just manufactured drama for cameras. Behind the scenes, Robin reportedly described their marriage as hell and very difficult to navigate. Sources suggest she secretly blames Kody for destroying the plural family she claims to have wanted. The other wives leaving did not bring her closer to Kody. It exposed how dependent their relationship was on having others to compare against. Now she carries the full weight of his emotional demands alone. Fan speculation has intensified following reports that Kody was spotted at the Dallas airport alone and visibly angry. Could Robin have finally reached her breaking point? She has spent years playing therapist, defender, and emotional punching bag for a man incapable of genuine introspection. That role exhausts anyone eventually. The deepest irony is that Robin always claimed she wanted the family, not just the man. "I had marriage proposals," she revealed during one episode. She turned down suitors who did not want plural marriage because she believed in the lifestyle. Now she exists in unintentional monogamy with a husband who resents being reduced to one wife. She got everything she supposedly wanted and discovered it was nothing she actually needed. The queen sits alone in her castle wondering how triumph became tragedy. The question haunting Sister Wives fans is brutally simple: what happens next? TLC has not officially confirmed whether season 21 will happen. The network remains tight-lipped while the Brown family fractures in real time across social media. But whispers from inside sources paint a complicated picture that could go either direction. Reports surfaced in October that Mykelti Padron allegedly confirmed on her Patreon that the Browns have already started filming season 21. What is really crazy is Mykelti confirmed on her Patreon the Browns have already started filming season 21. One fan reported after viewing her post. If accurate, this means TLC believes the franchise still holds value despite every indication suggesting otherwise. However, the logistics of continuing have become nightmarish. The original premise of Sister Wives required one family living under connected roofs navigating plural marriage together. Now producers must coordinate filming across 4 completely separate locations. Janelle resides in North Carolina. Christine and David live in Utah. Mary settled in southern Utah. Kody and Robin remain in northern Arizona. That means one crew flying constantly across the country, burning through budgets that reality television can barely justify anymore. Industry insiders note that Warner Bros. Discovery has been slashing costs aggressively. Reality shows requiring extensive travel face particular scrutiny during budget reviews. The Christine and Janelle spin-off possibility refuses to die. Fans have demanded it for years, and both women seem open to the concept. Christine previously told Entertainment Tonight she would be totally open to a spin-off, calling it fun as heck. Janelle pitched her own version during the season 20 tell-all, suggesting cameras follow her on an eat, pray, love style journey of self-discovery. Their daughter Gwendolyn even proposed the idea publicly, joking about her genius before asking what the show should be called. The foundation exists if TLC wants to build upon it. Meanwhile, Christine's conversation with David about finances raised eyebrows among attentive viewers. When David asked what would happen when they relied solely on his income, Christine admitted she stays awake at night worrying about spending too much. The exchange suggested she anticipates Sister Wives ending and is mentally preparing for life without TLC paychecks. That kind of forward thinking indicates insider knowledge about the show's precarious position. Janelle's departure, if finalized, could trigger a domino effect. Without her participation, the show loses one of its most beloved original cast members. Mary has distanced herself from her former Sister Wives entirely. Christine seems focused on her new marriage rather than revisiting old trauma. That leaves Kody and Robin carrying a show built on family dynamics that no longer exist. The collapse deepens with every passing week. Whether Sister Wives survives another season or finally fades into reality television history, one truth remains undeniable. The family that once promised to prove plural marriage could work has instead documented its spectacular destruction for 16 years straight. Drop your thoughts below, like, subscribe, and stay tuned. The next video is waiting, and you will not want to miss what is coming next.